Welcome Tech Lovers, Ibrar here. Today I am going to cover Docker volume, export and import. This is the part 15 of Docker 0 to Hero series. Docker volume export and import is required to share volume data to your team worker in development environment or migration of applications such as host to another host or on-premises to cloud for production movement. This is the most important part to work with production environment. Watch video till the end. DevOps in Action channel is more focused on DevOps in easy way. You always found complexity in simplicity here. Each video guide is available in video's description. Here will be only action as channel name is DevOps in Action. So let's jump to the lab without any delay. Here you can see today's agenda. In day 15, we are going to learn Docker volume export and import deep dive. Here we are going to use Docker cp command to export and import, and we are going to use import and export. This is the standard command we are going to use, and the Docker API basically used for production movement, right? And we are going to use SSH also to move or copy or migrate volume through the SSH on the production environment. Also there is one .files written by me. You can use it as well. So to work with this demo, we are going to prepare Docker container for this demo. Here we are going to use a DB and web server, and one is uptime, right? And we are going to cover all method to see how it works. Let's say method 1, backup manual way on the same host using cp command. And in the second method, we are going to use import and export command. In the third method, again we are going to use import and export, but we use anonymous volumes and named volume as well. And after exporting, we are going to clean the environment, and after that we are going to restore. So we will practice restore using either cp command or tar command. We can extract any zip on volume, right? And method 2, we are going to restore the backup contents into the volume using export command. So we are covering all aspects, all possible options. And in method 3, we are going to restore our volume backup using SSH over the server, over the production server. This is best practices for production migration over SSH. If you have SSH, you can use these options. Otherwise, the fourth option is restore migrate using Docker API. I not covered API yet, but yes, I will cover in upcoming video. But this is the important part, so I don't want to miss it. So you can use Docker API to migrate your volumes from your host to production environment. And also there is one bonus tip, export and import using .files. I created a .files. This is very powerful tool. I add this link in this video. You must see this one, and some basic best practices and tips. Here you can have a look of all commands, and before that I want to explain why it required. So backup is required to save your volume data for file and safekeeping. Let's say if you want to shut down your server and want to keep the data safe, in that case you need to export your volume and keep it for safety purpose, right? You can import in future, but again here you need to keep in mind one point here, that always keep container image version always note down, because when you restore in future, in that case the image version be greater than your previous version. So let's say if you are using 1.1 and in future it will be 2.2 maybe, in that case you cannot use your volume. So always backup and keep your current version information. The next option is the migration. Move data to another Docker host or environment. Let's say I have on premises or I have DigitalOcean and I want to migrate from DigitalOcean to, let's say, on the AWS or Azure, right? In that case, this case is required. And the third one is the share volume data with the teammates or other systems. Maybe if you have worked on MySQL and there is some data or some structure and you want to share with your teammate, then it would be better for development environment, you can say. Transitioning convert bind mount to volumes. This is the most important again part here you need to understand. Let's say if you run a container, or if you have a production environment where container is running and it's running without volume, so in that case you need to convert your bind mount into the volume. And you can do vice versa, you can convert from volume to your bind mount. And for example, imagine you are running a web app with the database in Docker volume and you want to move to a new server. So exporting the volume to a tar.gz and importing it in the new host, ensure data is stay intact. So this is the major 4 options, 4 use cases which we are going to cover today. Okay, so here let me just clear the heading, and rest of the things we will see in the demo. We are going to prepare Docker containers for the demo. We create one database container, one uptime Kuma, this is the monitoring, and one Nginx, and we are going to see all the cases with these 3 containers only. Okay, so we are going to cover the first method, backup manual way using cp command on the same host. This is the best practices for migrate bind mount to volume to volume. The second method is the named volume. Existing volume you can export it. The third one is the you can export, but you can use either anonymous, either named volume. Both options supported here. And after that exporting about 3 containers, we are going to clean all the images and all the containers, right? Then we restore existing volume manually using the cp command or tar command. So here you can copy your bind mount to volume, or if you have tar, then you can extract your tar or extract your zip to volume. In method 2, this is the restore method. In method 2, you can restore the backup content into volume using export command. This is the standard command. And in method 3, restore or migrate using SSH for production migration over SSH. This is the most important options when you work with the productions. So with this help, with this command help, you can migrate your on premises, your digital oceans, your anywhere you have a volume, you can connect SSH and you can transfer on the any cloud or anywhere. It support basically transfer over SSH. Method 4 is restore migrate using Docker API for production migration over API. This is support Docker API. I will cover it as I said. Okay. And in bonus tips, you can use export or import using .files. It is very simple and it's have a lot of power of DevOps automation. So you should see this one. You can click on this link and watch video till the end. That's it for the summary, and let's jump to the lab. Here you can find GitHub link. Go here on the repository Docker 0 to Hero series and day 15. Everything is the same which I explained. So let's start the demo. Here is my server running, so let's connect to the server. I am on my home path, so I want to create day 15 directory and enter it. Okay, so day 15 is already exist, no problem. Cd day 15. Okay, great. Now here you can see I am going to create demo container. This is the database container and I am using MariaDB. I already explained Docker run command, and I will provide the Docker run command video description in this link. So container is running and let's see, it is ready to accept connection. Yes. Now I'm going to enter this Docker container using the credentials. I'm inside the MySQL shell. So I want to create a database with the name day 15 and going to use day 15 as well. And I'm creating a table in the database. Yes, it's done. And inserting some raw data. There is two lines. One is the Docker and Docker at example.com, day 15 at example.com. This is the very simple things, right? And I'm exiting. So here I have a ready containers where we export this volumes, right? So you can see here in this container there is data. This is simple data, and after terminating container, after deleting the volume, we can import again exported image, exported volumes. The second one is the monitoring container, named is uptime comma. Basically this is the most powerful monitoring tool. There are a lot of tools available, but this is a popular tool. And yes, it is running, so let's see. So here you can see container is running and I'm going to do some onboarding. Let's say I'm going to create a user and put the right password. Okay, password did not match. Okay, I hope yes it worked. So I'm going to simple monitor here. There are a lot of types of monitoring options available here, but as of now I'm going to just check the TCP port. Let's say I am looking my MySQL port. Okay, host name is the same again, right? And port 83306, retry I need to 3. Rest of the things fine, just save it and see the MySQL service is up and running. You can set notification against it. You can set up notification here, and there are a lot of types notifications options available here. But I am doing this for to backup volumes and restore it and show you that data is working fine, right? And I'm creating the third one. So let's see, I created the third one and do the same with the different port. This is the default Nginx, but when we took backup, then we are unable to understand this is exactly the same or not. So I'm going to write default in Nginx file, index.html file. So I changed it. So what I did till now, I created 3 containers and added some data there. So here you can see in MariaDB I used MariaDB volumes, and in the uptime comma there is volumes here, uptime comma, and in Nginx there is Nginx data. There is 3 volumes, and in all volumes have custom data. That is not the default data, that is custom data. In MariaDB I created the table. In Nginx data I written the custom text sum, and in monitoring I added my user information and added MySQL monitoring. Here you can see, right, the data is coming. So the purpose is to backup and restore. So there are multiple ways, so let's see one by one. But before that, let's do some understanding. Here I am setting variable container name equal to MariaDB. I want to inspect the containers volumes informations, so you can understand how volume works. So I will basically attach 3 video in this video. One is the .files, second one is the docker volume. Docker volume is the most important, you must watch that video, and this is again very important. Here you can see the volume name is MariaDB and the data path is here, and its destination is under the container where live MySQL, right? So similarly you can find any volume information through this command. I already covered this inspect command as well. So let's export using method 1, right? So here you can see backup manual way using cp command on the same host, best for migrate bind mount to volume. So let's say if you have bind mount and running containers a long time, but you want to convert in the volume, you can do. So I am going to create a new volume with the backup volume, back volume, right? And you can see here, before that we saw the actually path of any volume. So volume path is the where lib docker volume, and here is your volume, and after that it's underscore data. So same path we can get all the volumes. Here you can see I created a backup volume, and in backup volume there is no data because it's empty volume, right? And we have a Nginx already running, and there is one data. I already rewrite index.html there, you can see here. right? So my plan is to backup Nginx data to my backup volume. So let's simple use docker cp command here, and it's copied. Again, verify the backup volume that data is available or not. Let's see. Yes, data is there. Here I added a note for you. You can copy, bind, mount or host data into volume for backup. So we successfully backupped, or you can say exported, using cp command from the host to a volume. You can similarly copy your host data as well. Let's say docker cp -r and put your any path, copy the files or folders and put your docker volume path. This is the very simple. Either you can copy from volume to volume, either you can copy from the host path to volume. This is the same, right? The second method is named volume. So existing volume, you can export it, but before that we are going to create a method to name, because in method 1 we copied from volume to volume. Now I am going to create a method 2. Okay, we are creating method 2. Here again you can see I'm going to export my MariaDB volume. So I'm setting variable as volume name is MariaDB. You can define either this variable here, or you can just change your volume name here. Doesn't matter, but this is easy for me. That's the reason I'm using this one. So here let me explain. Docker run -rm. So basically after completing this task, container will be removed, and I am adding a volume. So my volume is MariaDB. You can see volume name. I am picking it from the here. This is right, but here I defining the exact volume name and adding this. You can say mounting this volume inside the container as backup volume. Again, I am pointing the second volume as pwd. Pwd means my current working directory. This one, day 15 method 2. This will pointed here, right? And this will be mounted inside the container as backup and using the busybox. And after that, in busybox inside the container, I am putting command tar and passing the name of my backup. So my backup will be, let's say, my backup.tar.gz in my backup. It means it will be my current directory. The zip will be available here in my current directory here, right? And I am taking backup. I am zipping my backup volume. So backup volume is my exactly volume. It is very simple. There is no rocket science. So I am doing the same thing here, and let's see what happened. Yes, my SQL data is exported, right? You can see here the data is available, and we successfully exported a volume to file, right? So let's do the third one. In the third method, we are going to do some different thing. So what we are going to different thing here, we define the volume name, but consider if you have anonymous volume, or if you don't want to pass volume name, instead of you want to pass the container name, then it is also possible. So in the method 3, I am passing container name. Container name is my uptime kuma, and the command is same, the first one, in second one command here, this is the basically single command, but I am saying the second command means second line. Volume from, again I already covered this in volume chapter. You must see, you must watch that video. I am picking up the volume from command and it's attach volume from the existing container. So container name is uptime comma. So it's pick up volume from the uptime comma and volume is attached, and after that the second volume is my pwd and backup. So pw will be the same again, here there is nothing, right? And the rest command is same. Again here some twist. Here you can see after the tar.gz I pick up the backup volume because I mounted my volume as backup volume, but here I not mounted my volume to anywhere. In that case you must use your correct path. So my uptime comma, you can see here uptime comma path is inside the volume mounted as app data. So here you can see I am taking volume from and containers name. So volume is mounted its default path. What is its default path? It's app data, right? So I am pointing my app data, and after that I am zipping that data in my backup path. Backup path is current working directory, right? So let's see this in action. You can see here backup done successfully. Now let's see. Yes, backup is there, right? Here I also added a note for you. Volume from share all volume from your container to their original mount points. Again, you can understand, let's say if you have container and you have multiple volumes, again it will mount all the volume on the its default path. So always you need to back up the right path, right? So we covered three methods to export backups. One is the cp command, one is the existing volume using the you can say defining the volume, and method 3 defining the container name. So it's time to restore, but before that we need to clean all the things, right? So here you can see there is 3 container running, so I want to clean the all container gone. Now I want to clean all volume as well, but I want to keep backup volume because we are going to use in the import one to verify that data is there or not. So I want to delete these 3 one only. So let's delete these 3 ones only. Okay, so you can see here backup volume is there. So method 1, restore using existing volume manually. So we have existing volume and already used cp command to copy the volume to volume or host to volume, right? So I want to use that data basically, but before that just verify that data is there or not. Yes, data is there. So I want to run a nginx container, but again here you can see I am pointing my this volume. So I want to use this volume, so backup volume. I pass the exact my existing volume name and started running, right? And open the URL, the same URL. You can see here it is working fine. It means after exporting from volume to volume or from host to volume, you can use your existing volume as a backup. But here I not deleted this volume, so in this chapter I will delete it and I will restore it again. Again here some twist is, if you have tar file, right, then you can use it. So let's create a volume for tar as well. The volume name is tar volume, and I am going to do a task. I'm exporting this volume as a tar, and you can see exported as well. With the tar you can zip your volume data, or you can extract volume to your data. This is basically I not added in detail, but yes, this is for your understanding. So the method to restore the backup contents into the volume using the export command, right? So here we have a backup and we exported with the method to, right? So before that, let me clean all the things, all volume, and clean all the container. There is no container, there is no volume, everything is cleaned. You are wondering, I am using this kind of command, what it is? Again, this is again dot files, nothing else. So I'm going to create a volume named as MariaDB data, and I want to restore it, right? So in the restore, the command is same, nothing else, but here some changes done in the last command. Rest of the things is same as we used for export or backup. Here we are passing the extraction command, and we are just passing the our exact file path and where we extracting. So we extracting in the root path inside the container. So let's do that. Yes, it's done, and restoration is done. So I want to create a container, my MariaDB with my MariaDB data volume. So there is no container, there is one volume, so I want to use volume in my this container. So it's started. Let's see it's running or not. Yes, it's ready to accept the connection. So let's see that data is there or not. Yes, data is there. This is the again very simple way you can use export and import. Basically this is the standard command provided by the Docker, and this is the recommended way, and this one again is a hacky way, you can say, and not explained in Docker documentation, but this is available. And let's restore uptime backup on volume. Okay, and before container creation, so we did the same above as well. So let's go to the directory 3 and create volume for uptime and again the command is same, nothing changed, just import it. Yes, import done, and running the container with the imported in volume, right? So let's see, it started. and let's verify. You can see here data is there, right? Container is also, container removed, data is there for uptime comma. Okay, so there is two things. One is the before container creation, one is the after container creation. So I'm exporting here. Understand the first one first. We created a volume uptime comma. This is the blank volume, and after that we imported data from the my path in method 3, and after I started the container. This is the way before container creation. We prepared our volume and volume is ready with the data. The next one is restore uptime comma on running container after container creation. So what it means? It means if you have blank, let me clean first. I am cleaning all container and cleaning the all volume as well. So there is no volume, there is no container, right? So here I am running a blank container, right? So let's start the run blank the default uptime comma without any data. So container is running and it's asking for the setup. It means there is no data, right? So if you started a container without data and after that you want to restore the data, so in that case you need to pass your existing name, let's say my uptime comma here, and I'm restoring the data, attaching the volume from. This is the same again which I explained. So I'm just restoring the data. Okay, restoration done. Let's see it is working or not. It is not working because the service need to restart, right? So let's stop uptime comma and start it again. When you restart the service, in that case it will pick up the data restored by you. Once you refresh page, it's asking for the login, right? I am putting the password and see what is there. There is one container, there is one monitoring added by us, so that is there, right? This was method to restore backup contents into the volume used by export command. The third one, we can see this is not mentioned on the any documentation, but yes, you can do here. Create a tar archive of the contents to local backup volume and stream it over SSH remote host where it is extracted into the volume with the same name. So we want to create a backup volume. Let's see here. I have something or not? Yes, I have uptime comma, but uptime comma is heavy, means there is data, so I want to clean. Okay, first I need to clean container and after that clean the volumes. There is no volume, there is no container. So let's create a you can say volume, right? Volume name is backup volume. Okay, so I'm going to create a backup volume and I want to put data there. So I want to put the data, but need to pass the volume name not as inject data. It will be backup be a backup vol, right? So data is there. Let's cross verify that data is there or not. Our volume is ready with the index.html. So I want to restore, you can say, or migrate, you can say, from the DigitalOcean to AWS, considering this scenario. So I have my server here with the IP 210, and you can see here this is running here 210, and I want to pass this from this VM to here on the R&D, and this is again lxc command. You can see here 104 IP is there, right? So on the console, let me show you. There is no volume, there is no container, and IP is 104, right? So let's start migration. So here I am doing the docker run rm and backup, mounting the backup volume to my Alpine container as data, and creating the tar from the data and passing this to pipe, and after that doing gzip and again passing to the remote SSH. Here you need to pass your remote host user and remote host IP. After that it will ask for the password if you using password. Otherwise you can change this SSH with your PEM file, or you can say key file, or you can use config as well, SSH config. It's totally up to you as per your expertise, right? Again unzipping and exporting volumes using docker I. This is an interactive shell, and mounting the same data and extracting it. It is very simple basically. So let's do that. In my source host on the 210, you can see one backup volume is there, but on the remote there is no volume. You can see this is the live, right? So I am just passing this, and it's passing it's asking for the password of remote host. I am putting password. Yes, it's done very easily and very less time, because there was only one index.html. That's the reason. So on the remote host, let's see again the same command. You can see here backup volume SSH data there. Again you can see here there is some name changes I done, because I want to confirm that I copied from the backup volume to backup volume over SSH. Let's verify that data is there or not. So let's paste it. You can see here the data is there. I copied is as very simple way, because avoid to due to less time, I want to avoid a heavy volume to migrate from the source to destination. That's the reason I pick up at a very simple volume with the simple index.html, right? With the help of SSH, you can migrate from on-premises to cloud, from one host to another host, from your DigitalOcean to AWS, anywhere. This is the very good way, and very good for production migration. Again, you cannot find this article maybe over the internet. The next one is the restore or migrate using Docker API for production migration over Docker API. So again I'm going to use the same thing. This is my source, and this will be my destination, right? Again here you can see there is one volume, and volume name is backup vol _SSH. I added SSH to understand I copied from the SSH, right? So let's see here again. I am going to copy the same thing, backup volume, but again I am renaming it backup volume API. It means I copied over the API. So here we used SSH, but here I used API, Docker API. Again you can see IP is the same. I enable Docker API my destination. So let's see one by one. The above command is the same, and there is no gzip, and I simply copying. Let's copy that. I am copying data over API. Consider if you have API, and if you don't have any SSH, then you can use API as well. It's totally up to you. If you have SSH, use SSH. If you have API, use API. What you prefer, doesn't matter. Okay, the command is done. Let's see Docker volume. Here you can see API one also is there. So what I did, I copied or migrated data from source to destination, from one host to another host using API, right? So let's manage host Docker from the of the remote host to the source host. So here I exported Docker host of my remote URL, and I want to manage my remote containers, my remote all the things from the source. You can see here Docker volume, all the things is there. And if you grep env which host I'm using, you can see I'm using the remote host, right? Similarly you can see the copy command. Okay, I need to check from here. You can see here in the API as well the data is same, right? From here we can use anything, DPS and DVL. Okay, the benefit of using API in production environment is very good. With the Dotfiles, with the help of Dotfiles, I can do a lot of automations over the remote without installing Dotfiles there, and we can manage easily. Let's see in action. Let's say I want to clean all the volume, and it's showing that volume is used. So I want to clean the container first, and after that cleaning the volume, right? So there is no volume, there is no container on the remote host. So I'm in the remote host, and you can see I cleaned all the things, but I want to use my host container. So for that I need to unset Docker host. After unset, you need to check that your current Docker host is your current host. Now you can see there is no container, and there is one volume as backup volume, right? So we covered all the methods to import and export, right? And here is one bonus tips: export and import using Dotfiles, power of the DevOps automation. There are a lot of things available here, and I request you to contribute this GitHub repo, power of DevOps automation tool. If you seems that something is missing, then you can propose me, and you can use contribution, GitHub contribution options. I will merge it, and you can see here, I am going to create a container, and after that let me check first any container is there. No, there is db clean. I want to clean, nothing is there, right? So I am starting a container of uptime Kuma. Here you can see it's asking for onboarding. Do onboarding, admin, and set the password. Password setup done, right? So I did only onboarding, just created my user, nothing else, and I want to show you. So I have a ready container running with the volume uptime Kuma, right? So with the help of docker export, this is the part of, let me show you. Here when you press the dhp command, you can get a lot of command. dpl, docker pull, dis, docker images. There are a lot of things here. I'm using docker volume export and import, the last one, right? So when I pass this command, you can see I missed the import or export command. After that put the volume name, after that output.tar. So let's clean here. Let's say trace my, I traced it. Again, trace is the part of Dotfiles, and this is very important things. Instead of using rm-rf, you can use trace. So basically it's put your files or folders into your current users home directory, and there will be one trace folder. So let's see, once you click ls and you trace, you can see that file is there in your users home directory under the trace. And after that you can clean it. But let's say if you have some important file, in that case instead of removing it directly, you can put it in trace first and after that remove it, right? So I did onboarding, I created the container, and now I want to pass the name of docker volume export and import and types of actions. Type of action is export, and after that passing the name of volume. As you can see here, I already added in the information, and output file name. So let's see in action. So here I'm exporting the file using the uptime Kuma volume, and my file will be this on the same directory where I'm working it, right? You can see here, this is the here, and I am going to clean file. Let's say I want to clean, declean. I am removing the container, I am removing the volume, right? dvel, there is no volume. dpp, there is no container, right? So now I want to import the file. Which file? I exported here uptime .gz, and I want to import in the volume name uptime Kuma. You can see here there is no volume. It will automatically create and restore the volume. So doing the same, and it's created the volume and imported uptime Kuma.tar.gz. Once you see dvel docker volume ls, you can see here uptime Kuma is there, but I'm not sure it is working or not. For that I want to run container using the same volume and see this is working or not. It means it's restored my data or not. Let's see. You can see here my user is working fine, user is onboarded. Once I log out, and you can see it's not redirecting to setup. It means my user onboarding is there, right? And this is just for your information that I used this kind of command in the my dot files, which I explained here, right? And here is some best practices, Docker image version and all these things. You need to read it, and additional resources which is available on the Docker volume. You can read it and you can connect with me. I hope you feel today very well after watching this video. And yes, after watching this video, I can take guarantee that you will become a master of it. If still you are not able to export and import, in that case only God can help you. Just joking, don't worry. That's enough for this part, right? So let me know what you guys think. If you have any question, leave a comment. Thank you very much. Have a nice day ahead. See you in the next video.